Louis, of course, a big few days ahead with a Saturday, Tuesday kind of double header at home for you. But first of all, obviously a disappointing and frustrating scoreline for you last week. But how's the sort of reaction and the kind of atmosphere and the mood been this week off the back of that?
It's been good. It's been a week of growth, reflection, development on our technical and tactical approach. Probably more importantly, our psychological approach to games and to situations which we know isn't our strength of the players that we got, and we know that we are, have skill sets that lend themselves more to the in possession and the counter pressing and the high energy pressing from the front. But sometimes a setback can be a real good opportunity just to reset, to review, and go forward in a stronger position.
Yeah, I mean, has last weekend really been something you've tried to put an emphasis on in reacting to that, or has it more been a not forgetting about it but not trying to dwell on it too much? How has the sort of approach been really this week?
I think when we came in on Tuesday, you got to review the game. You got to be consistent, whether it's 7-1 or whether you win 2-0 against Barnet the week before, and that's what we try to do. We looked at the in and out of possession stuff. We looked at the statistics in possession and the XG for and against. And funnily enough, the stats were quite high and actually quite favourable to us in terms of shots on target, over 70% possession. Our XG4 was 1.6 and above. So real positive markers, actually, considering the context and the scoreline of 7-1. Obviously the out of possession stuff. Predominantly in a period in the second half was the disappointing one. The group collectively has took responsibility for that, and we'll make sure that doesn't happen again for two reasons. First of all, you can't win any game of football unless you're prepared to fight and scrap and earn a position to impose your technical and tactical setup if you don't do the physical side of the game. And secondly, we have a skill set and set of strengths for this group of players that lean to, like I say, the in possession and how we want to control the game and how we want it to look. High energy at the top end of the pitch, whether that's running behind combinations or counter pressing and pressing from the front line. And we know where our areas of improvement are. So we have to fight and scrap even more so in them areas to not only just compete with other teams where it might be their strengths, but also to compensate for the fact that it's not our natural set of strengths. So we've had that overall review, but then we've decided to make it stronger for us, make sure that we reset and reaffirm some non-negotiables, which we'll take into the game on Saturday.
Yeah, and you touch on the game on Saturday there, of course, the first, as I say, of two quite close together at home with Forest Green, coming up first at the weekend. I mean, it feels like, as is the case the last few games you've played, where you've been playing against a team that's been kind of flying high and right up the top of the league alongside yourselves. But how are you looking ahead to that challenge tomorrow? Because it's probably a bit of a different one to maybe some of the ones you have faced in terms of the physical prospect of it.
We are relishing it, to be honest with you. The challenges that Forest Green will pose tomorrow is very much the same of where we fell short against Dagenham, and what a great way to address that by the next game. We know the quality of players that they've got. They have accumulated a good amount of points similar to ourselves since the start of the season, and we back ourselves going into any game. The fact that they do have that physical edge as well as that their footballing qualities provides an extra challenge. But like I just said there's no better time to address a situation where you've potentially let yourself down or not hit the markers that you want by doing that in the next game. On top of that, we're going to be playing at home where we've been strong and we've played. We've delivered some real good performances, which have then resulted in a good points return. And also as well, our fans have been fantastic this season, especially at home. They've come out and they've provided the boys with real good energy. And I think also as well, the lads are really looking forward to being back out in front of them, to pay faith to the travelling fans that went out to Dagenham, because their response after the game on Saturday was fantastic. Very supportive, very big picture minded in terms of, the results that we've given to other teams. But ultimately they told us that, they're looking forward to next week, and it's a one-off. So we're looking to really take that energy in front of them fans and the home fans that have been fantastic this season, because we've put some real good performances in so far.
Yeah, I mean, you touch on the home performances and the home record so far. Of course, still at 100% from the 4 games you have played so far. So obviously positive in terms of the confidence side from your own point of view, but from an opposition point of view as well, it makes it a place that teams don't necessarily want to come to or look forward to come to, maybe. Yeah,
you like to think that there's that extra dimension to their preparation, the respect. Hopefully that ultimately the fact that they'll be preparing for our setup means that they potentially have to compensate on some of their maybe values or concepts or structure to try and stay in the game and compete with us, because like you say, our results and our performances at home have been really strong. For us, it's just about having that relentless mentality of not taking anything for granted. So we've had a real humbling experience last Saturday, which will really help in the preparation and making sure that we've got them arousal levels and that we attack the game. But also as well, we're at home and we really back ourselves going into any game, and we really relish playing against top sides because we know it'll be a good game. We back ourselves against any team in this league, so we're really looking forward to it.
You mentioned the injury side of things there. Obviously, you've been quite unfortunate early on in the season with, like you say, the amount that you've had, and John, unfortunately, was the sort of latest casualty to that last weekend. But what's the situation with him at the minute?
John's just in training on his recovery back from his concussion on Saturday. We were gutted for him taking the knock. The most disappointing thing is John was really thrown in at the deep end with the injuries that we had. How the complexity in terms of our build up with the concepts and the ideas, you don't just kind of grasp that in 1 or 2 days, but he's working so hard, whether it's meetings with the coaching team or whether it's on the training pitch and the patterns, or kind of taking on the information with the conversations. He's really tried to adapt to that, and he was playing on his wrong side as well. We tried to want to get him on the right hand side, but he provided real good balance on the left in terms of his physical attributes as well. So it is a shame and a setback for him, but he'll hopefully be back in a couple of weeks' time, when our Saturday, Tuesday fixtures will be a lot more consistent, which is obviously a bonus. It's not great for him, but it's obviously great that we've been able to complement that situation by bringing some more depth into the squad.
Yeah, and in terms of that defensive sort of side injury-wise as well, obviously Joe and Kenton have been out a little more longer term of late. How are the pair of them doing at the minute?
Yeah, they're progressing well. I know Kenton's had some news yesterday in regards to potential surgery and getting his recovery is started so the return can be as quick as possible. Joe's made progress now, moving into the gym, and he's making steps up in that week on week, and it's already nearly been a month and a half for Joe, so the weeks are ticking off. Again, for Kenton, hopefully it shouldn't be too long, hopefully only a couple more months, but this is where ultimately the group and the squad is so important. You're just as important as number 18, whether it's a match day or 24 in your training group. You're only as strong as that member of the group, and how much that person feels a part of the cause and contributes to the cause and maintains their standards, because it's not only going to be 11 players, it's not only going to be 16, 18 players that are going to be rolling out every game. There's going to be these injuries, there's going to be these setbacks, hence why we focus so much on having a cohesive and together group, because it's going to take every person to get us where we want to go, and it's now up to the individuals who are rather come in on loan or who are getting more game time from the start of the season due to these changes to step up and continue the momentum so that we're in a better place for when these players return.